Hi, and welcome to the Vocal Fries Podcast, the podcast about linguistic discrimination.
I'm Megan Figueroa.
And I'm Carrie Gillen. And today, there's a couple people that we forgot to thank last time in our last episode, and I want to make sure that I do that now. So thank you to the Podcasting Couch, which was actually the first podcast to interview us, and I can't believe I forgot. And also the Endless Knot. I also want to thank, we have 2 new patrons this month, but one of them wishes to remain anonymous, so thank you, Anonymous. And also, Heather Brady. Yes, thank you, Heather Brady. So, thank you. And if anyone else wants to join, we have 3 levels, $1 level, which is just a thank you. $3 level, you get a shout out and a sticker. And the $5 level, you get a shout out and a sticker, but also you get access to our bonus episodes. Which reminds me, we need to record one for this month.
Yes. They're very, they're very salty. Just like French fries.
Perfect.
Yes.
I can't believe we haven't made that our tagline yet.
Oh my gosh. We should.
Salty, just like French fries.
Are we having a moment right now? Is this an epiphany?
This is definitely an epiphany for me. I don't know about you, but...
I mean, it just came out of my mouth. It must have been living there for a bit, though, because I always use that gif of the salt and the fries.
Mm-hmm. You know. It's a good one. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I always feel salty. So,
yeah, me too.
And I really love salt.
Yeah, who doesn't?
I mean, so I'm excited about this episode today. It was fun to record.
It was super fun to record, and our guest, Lou Capetta, had lots of great things to say about Jersey and his accent. Sadly, it was the first time we ever used Zoom to record because 2 out of the 3 of us were having computer issues, so we decided to simplify. Unfortunately, the audio is not as good as our normal standard, so I apologize.
Yes.
But it's worth it. The content is worth it.
Yeah. Otherwise, we would have scrapped it. But we didn't want to do that.
No.
So forgive. Please
yes.
forgive us. And spoiler alert, today we talk about Jersey.
Joyzy. I don't even know if that's actually a real thing. But...
No, definitely not how he says it. So...
No, definitely not. Definitely not.
Sorry, Lou. But before we get to that, there has been some feathers ruffled.
I don't know why that made me laugh so hard.
In the world of linguist Twitter.
I guess I'm just imagining all linguists as birds and...
Exactly how I was imagining us when I said it.
So, what kind of bird would you be?
I would definitely be... Shit, I don't know. I'm thinking
you should be a cactus wren, because it's the state bird of Arizona.
I love it. I was imagining just a plain chicken because... self-esteem issues. I was like, I don't want to reach beyond what I am, but
there are very beautiful chickens out there, so stop that. Really beautiful chickens.
What would you be?
A raven. It's kind of boring, but you know.
No, I was gonna say that, but I was like, I'm not a raven.
No.
Don't even try to be who you're not, Megan.
maybe a grackle. They're kind of raven-like, and they're also from Arizona.
Oh, yeah.
I like grackles. Some people don't, but I think they're cool.
Yeah.
Anyway, let's go back to the topic.
Sorry.
I'm so sorry. It's my fault. So, feathers ruffled. First was very famous for a linguist, Steven Pinker.
Yeah, he can just go off and not exist anymore in the public eye, as far as I...
Yeah, he definitely does not deserve his platform anymore. I mean, he's been problematic for a while, but I think this one is like the final straw of he used the word SJW,
right.
social justice warrior, which we talked about before, about how that's just not how is being a social justice warrior a bad thing? Like, so if you're using that, like, that really makes you the asshole.
Right. I mean, it's coded language at this point. Unless you're
Is
trying.
At this point, is it coded? It's just like
It's uncoded. It has been. So it was coded at one point. Right?
yeah. When it was first introduced, it was like this like sort of clever way of calling someone PC, I guess.
Yeah.
Correct.
Well, and he said PC/SW day, so he was like, I just want to get the whole all y'all in there.
Yep. I want to make sure that you understand what I'm saying. Is what he did. So that's why I'm like, I don't think it's coded.
Yeah. 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 Well, not for him.
I mean, maybe there's some people who don't understand. Yeah. Certainly there are people who don't understand what SJW stands for, but within the milieu of Twitter, it's not coded. Coded.
There is some reclamation of it too.
Oh yeah,
happening. But anyway, he wasn't reclaiming it. He was using it to be an asshole.
Yeah, he was using it more in the I mean, I guess it's not fully a slur, but like slur adjacent.
Right. Right. Yeah. Yeah.
An insult. He was using it as an insult.
And that's when you had to stop like reading and not take it seriously anymore.
Yeah, I don't take anything that he says seriously anymore, but we have to address it as linguists. Like, no, this is not an okay thing. So maybe, do you have the tweet in front of you?
He says, the first insight of linguistics, going back to Plato, is that words are conventions without magical powers. That's being nullified by PC/SJW attacks on mentioning taboo words, even ironically or in works of art.
Basically, what he wants to do is be able to say the N-word, which we haven't really even talked about in this pod because it's not really our word. It's not really our place. Right. But I will say, no, we don't get to say it, and we shouldn't want to. It should not even be a thing.
Yeah, like, if you're fighting that fight as a non-black person to say the N-word, you're an asshole. Like, get out of here.
You're
terrible. You're terrible.
You're a terrible person. Like, why should you want to say it? It just, anyway. But that's as far as I want to go with that conversation, because it's a complicated conversation, and we should probably have it, but with someone who can talk about it
yes,
better than we can.
Yeah. Two non-black people talking about it is not cool. Just like Pinker shouldn't want to say it and be talking about it, and I don't really want to give him like more of a platform. I just think that anyone who is like new to linguistics that listens to the pod should not take him seriously. Don't even give him a second thought.
You can read his old stuff. It's not necessarily right or anything, but like there's some interesting things in there. But stick to the old stuff. Don't listen to him from, I don't know, 5 years ago and beyond.
Although someone posted a picture of a page from the Language Instinct, and he says some horrible shit. Some very, very offensive. Okay. So I actually do not recommend any of it. I was really horrified, and I was like looking through the comments. I was like, "Where is this from? Is this from like not this? Surely this isn't from one of his like pop books." And it was from the Language Instinct.
Do you remember what it was?
I believe he was talking about Williams syndrome.
Oh, okay, that's fair. So yeah, I rescind what I just said.
Yeah,
don't listen to anything he said.
Yeah.
Other people pointed this out, but Plato did not say anything of the sort.
Yeah.
Plato actually was worried about the power of words, and he didn't want poets to write poetry that would like incite people, or he was very worried about poetry, in fact. So that was false. Also, Plato. Why Plato? Like, if you're going to go back to the Greeks, you would go back to Aristotle if you're talking about language.
Yeah. Well,
that's the guy.
He's lazy. He's lazy in his ignorance and assholery.
Yeah, he's been called out for his stuff on the Enlightenment and how he doesn't understand the Enlightenment. And so, as someone who doesn't understand the Enlightenment either, I'm not going to say anything, but he has been called out for these kinds of things in the past. Recent past.
And yeah. Can I just say, Amazon, stop recommending his book about the Enlightenment to me. God.
Can you block recommendations on?
Which is ridiculous.
Damn.
I know.
Get on it, Amazon.
Yeah. So I like language. You're going to give me all these Steven Pinker recommendations? Get out of here. Get out of here.
Yeah, that's bad.
Yeah, it's just going to keep being perpetuated because I think like Bill Gates said something like, it's the best book I've read in like years or something. So we really need to just let y'all know, don't believe just no on Steven Pinker.
Yeah, let's deplatform him now. He really does not deserve the platform that he has.
No.
And then to go back to the convention thing, I mean, like, yeah, words, the only reason why words have power is because we give it to them. But we have done that. We can't pretend otherwise. Like, in a different language, in a different culture, the N-word would mean something different. But that doesn't take away from what it means here and now, in this culture, in this moment, in this language.
Right.
So, oh, it's just so upsetting.
Yeah. He can go fuck himself.
Yeah.
Go fuck yourself.
And then the other thing that was like causing the fur to fly or the feathers to be ruffled. Well, the LSA posted about this on Twitter.
Yeah, you tell me about it, because I knew enough of my excellent friends on Twitter telling me what the fuck that I was like, okay, what the fuck is happening? But I didn't actually click on the article. So tell me.
So I did click on the article, and it's an article in medicalexpress.com, which I've never heard of before, but whatever, that's neither here nor there. The headline is, Scientists Advocate New Approach to Linguistic Research. Okay, so we should be very cautious when we see that, because what does that mean? Scientists, i.e. non-linguists, are telling linguists how to do linguistics better. Obviously, we're going to be defensive immediately because of that. But there's a good reason for that, because literally, what do they say? They have an article in Cognition. So I'm just going to read from the article on Medical Express. Every night, I drink a glass of wine before I go to bed. This sentence is easy to understand, but it will evoke a slightly different response when said by a 10-year-old. Yeah, no shit.
Yeah.
Okay, so the point is, they claim that, at least in psycholinguistics, traditional psycholinguistics ignores the context when you're processing a sentence. I mean, there is some abstraction going on sometimes in psycholinguistics, but this is not a case where that would happen, because as soon as you have I in a sentence, you have to know who the speaker is. That is a basic fact about linguistics, about language, that every linguist is going to share.
Yeah.
It's so crazy to me that the scientists, whatever kind of scientists they are, it doesn't even say.
Neuroscience. How
dare neuroscientists mansplain context to linguists? Right. I'm so angry.
I know. I'm just so offended, like, as a psycholinguist too, and like Cognition being a journal that I would want to publish in, for them to publish such crap about. I mean, it's as if the editors have never read an article from a psycholinguist before.
Right. Right. Like, oh, psycholinguists never worry about context. That is clearly not the case.
Right.
There is some abstraction that goes on sometimes when we talk about language as a psycholinguist or as a syntactician or whatever, but it would never be at this level.
Right.
This would never be mistaken as a neutral statement that you could just say in something that's contextless.
Yeah. I feel like the ones who should really be offended are neurolinguists, because they study this kind of reaction. Like, what is it, the N400? Like, this is a semantic, like, when you think about the semantics of a 14-year-old or 9-year-old saying this, you'd be like, oh, this is going to spike because this is weird. This is like, I don't like it, right? Or whatever.
Right. It is so offensive to the entire field of linguistics.
Yeah, to all of us.
Entire field.
And then, I mean, I don't know.
I know, there's nothing that you can say except ask a fucking linguist.
Yeah.
Like, literally ask a linguist, hey, does this make sense? Am I teaching you something new? No. No, you are not. All they're doing is, hey, we know how to do linguistics better. Literally.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, now I don't have to read it. I can just be, well, I probably will anyway, but I can just be outraged with everyone else. It's so offensive. Oh my gosh. I'm so glad that all the amazing people on Twitter were like on it. I learned so much from them. I learned so much from everyone.
Yeah, me too. So today we have another guest, Lou Capetta from the Lou Capetta Show with Jay Burke, and he's from New Jersey. So we're going to talk about all things New Jersey, and I'm very excited.
Yes.
So welcome to the show.
I'm from New Jersey. Don't hold it against me. Thank you.
Well, we're going to talk about that and why someone would hold that against you.
I feel like I have to apologize.
What do you feel like you're specifically apologizing for? Like the Jersey Shore?
Oh, yeah. That is so. Being Italian and from New Jersey. Like, I banned my kids from watching that show, and
yeah,
I was like, I felt like my parents. I was like, that's garbage. They disrespect people from New Jersey and Italians. It's a double whammy.
Yeah, so I guess you're not taking you're not going to claim the situation or
Oh no, they're not even from New Jersey. They're from Staten Island, which is like the biggest garbage dump in America. It really is. I'm sorry, it is.
Is that like a Jersey Staten Island like fight, y'all? Is that like a thing?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it is. Because a lot of people consider New Jersey to be like the armpit of America, when actually it's Staten Island.
Wait a second. So, just in case some of our listeners don't have the pleasure of knowing what the Jersey Shore is,
Lucky them.
Yeah, it's a MTV show, right? It was on MTV.
Yes, an MTV reality show where they took a bunch of your typical meatheads and big hair Italian girls from the area, the North Jersey tri-state area, and they sent them down to the shore to do their thing, in their habitat. It was like it was like a nature show almost.
Yeah,
MTV.
that's right.
It really was.
Yeah. You get to like normal people taking their families to the shore to with the meatheads in their habitat. It was fascinating. It was like it was the equivalent of just watching a train wreck every week. The car accident that you can't turn away from.
Yeah.
One of my former students wrote her honors thesis on the vocabulary of the Jersey Shore. And so that's where I actually learned all this stuff, like what the situation, what that even refers to. I was like, that's why? So for people who don't know, he's called the situation because of his abs. His abs are so amazing that they cause a situation every time he walks into the room.
I am shaking my head.
Yeah. You deserve a college degree if you're just on the basis that you're able to fit Jersey Shore into one of your college papers.
Yes.
You should. The paper doesn't need to be read. You get an A. You get your Bachelor of Arts or whatever, your science or I don't know, but you just get a degree, and you probably deserve a job at MTV because like.
Yeah, she would do a good job. I don't know what she's doing now.
Some type of PR or something. I mean, like that's she. I mean, part of my language here, but that's basically put a bow tie on a turd.
It's true.
So I was actually wondering if you feel like the bad rep that Jersey gets did like a lot of that happen before the Jersey Shore, or do you feel like a lot of it's happening after, or you just can't really tell the difference?
Okay, so man, a lot of it happened before the Jersey Shore. So if you're from New Jersey and you like, I'm born and bred in New Jersey. I have lived other places. When I was a teenager, I moved to Florida for a few years. I came back to Jersey, and then when I got married and had kids, I moved to Pennsylvania. So if you don't leave New Jersey, you at least I didn't. You don't know that. You know what I mean? It's when you venture outside of New Jersey. Like I travel. I see a lot of baseball games. Big baseball fan. I traveled to see the Tigers play in Detroit. Like in Detroit, and I was in the hotel bar, and a guy was talking about, oh, New Jersey. Oh, like I'm like, dude, you're in Detroit. Like, you know what I mean? Yeah. So
poor Detroit.
Yeah. Not that I mean, Detroit has their issues. It's not all their fault. I mean, I feel like, but yeah, I never really realized how, I guess, quirky New Jersey is until I left and then came back.
So then what happened when you first left, which would have been to Florida?
Okay, so the very first thing I realized, and it creeped me out, is that
you were in Florida.
Yeah, well, that. I mean, I was in Florida. No, I was in Florida during like the first. This is during the first George Bush's reign, so that was. But
Oh.
yeah, but no, but is that like people you don't know say hello to you,
Oh.
and and they're like nice and friendly. I'm like what? Yeah, like I would walk and so I grew up in North Jersey, in the New York metro area. Because that's another thing. New Jersey it's one state, but to the people in New Jersey, it's two states. It's North Jersey and South Jersey. People from Central Jersey, I'm sorry, there is no Central Jersey. You have to claim one, and it's basically by your sports teams. If you are close to New York City and you root for the New York teams like I do, you're North Jersey.
Okay.
The South Jersey people, they're their own thing. They root for all the Philadelphia stuff. So, but you walk around. I mean, I grew up. We walked everywhere. Everything was real congested. But you walk past people every day, and nobody smiled at you. Nobody said hello, and that's how I like it. I was in Florida, and strangers are saying hello to me. I'm like, "Oh, you creep! I don't want your candy. Get away from me."
That happens in Arizona too. You definitely have strangers saying hi.
Yeah, I mean, as I've gotten older, I've appreciated it more. Like, oh, people are nice. But I was 13 when I moved to Florida, and I was like, what the hell is this? Like, why is this dude saying hello to me? Get away from me, weirdo.
Yeah.
So that's how I realized like people from New Jersey I think they're pretty awful. They're not very personable. They're all, and there's also like everything is so. When I moved to like everything, everything was slower. I felt like everything was slower. Even like just having a conversation with people, I'm like, come on, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, I think that's a stereotype that at least over here in the West Coast we have of people that are just from New York.
And they're jerks.
Yeah, more like they're going so fast, they're not stopping to say hello, that kind of thing.
They're very brusque.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I can see that as a stereotype of the area.
It's true. I mean, it really is. I from everything that I've dealt with. I mean, now that I'm older, I hold doors for people. I say good morning, things like that. I still work in New Jersey, and people they look at me like I have two heads. So,
when you do something nice, you mean?
Yes. You have to kill people with kindness sometimes.
So when you got to Florida, did anyone say, wow, listen to that accent you have?
Yes, that was the first time that I ever realized that I had an accent. Because I was like, people outside of my area always assume it's a New York accent.
Yeah.
Now, the South Jersey accent is a little bit different. It is more Philly-based. So people always assumed I could tell the difference between when I would talk to people from New York. Like I have cousins and aunts and uncles and stuff that still live, in New York City and Brooklyn and stuff like that. And there's I could distinctly tell the difference in our accents. I never knew I had an accent. I just thought this is the way people talked. And until I moved to Florida, and they were like, man, you got an accent. And I was like, you have an accent.
We all have accents.
But that was it was a culture shock. I didn't realize, even just like water. So I say water. There's no R in it. You know what I mean? But it's everywhere else. It's water, or
right.
And I mean that's probably the correct way to pronounce it.
Oh, no, your way is perfect. All ways are perfect.
Thank you. So you guys are definitely not from New Jersey because you're being so nice to me.
We're also linguists, and this is actually our job to tell people.
So like those are little things. So I'm from South Orange. Now I pronounce it orange. In Florida, it's orange.
Right.
My children who have grown up in, except for my oldest lived in New Jersey a few years. She's 21 now, but for the most part, they all grew up in Pennsylvania. They all pronounce it orange. They say water. Like it's
Yeah.
little things like that are really down the shore. And nobody knew what the hell I did. People looked at me like I had two heads when I said down the shore.
What does down the shore mean?
So you've never heard that saying? Have you heard that saying? Or
No, I've never heard it.
it is like, I mean, for linguists, it must make your head must want to explode because it's awful grammar, or it doesn't even make any sense.
No, it makes sense, but I just don't know what it means.
That's so when you're in New Jersey, the Jersey Shore, we talked about, it was just a show. It's
it's a real thing
that people go to, which is all hype. It's actually awful. It's been better, but when I was a kid, it was filthy. It was disgusting. But it's always, you don't go to the shore. You don't go to the beach. It's you're going down the shore.
Okay.
Oh, cool.
I never realized that's a New Jersey thing. From everything that I've discovered in my travels, as far west as Cleveland, I've not. Yeah, that's a New Jersey thing. And when I moved to Florida, I lived in West Palm Beach, and we wanted to go to the beach. I said, "Oh, we're going down the shore," and nobody knew what I was talking. I didn't realize that was just a local thing. That is like New Jersey's trademark. I don't know how it came to be, or you're not even going down to the shore. You're just down the shore.
Right, because even if you were down south in New Jersey, and you had to go north to get there, you would still say down to the shore. Yeah.
So if you're in South Jersey, you live at the shore. I guess you don't say it, but I did. I lived in both. I lived in South Jersey for a little while too. My first attempt at college, I attempted to go to Temple University. And,
okay.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun partying.
One of the reasons to go to college.
Right. Yeah. So I lived on my grandmother lived in South Jersey. I lived on the Jersey side, and so I would go to Seaside Heights, which is where Jersey Shore is filmed and stuff. And it's literally on Highway 70, a straight run east across the state, and it's still down the shore.
Cool.
I wish I had a way to explain it. I don't know.
No,
I get it.
Yeah, and a lot of times when something is specific to an area, you don't really know how to explain it because it's always been that way.
Are there any other like New Jersey phrases or words?
Now, I don't know if this is more my generation and later, but I do find that we say yo a lot. Like there's a lot of yo. It's yo, go get the lawnmower or whatever. Which is another thing I didn't realize until I moved to Pennsylvania as an adult, like just how often I said the word yo. Even my dad says it a lot. It's one of those things. I mean, there's a lot of cursing. There's a lot of cursing. Like even
like it doesn't matter, like in front of kids, everything.
Yeah, and women. There's even like in mixed company. Like I find myself interjecting the F word quite often, not even realizing that I do it. It's
okay if you do it here.
Oh, okay, good. Yeah, okay.
Friendly. Yeah.
Oh, okay, good. So, all right, that's good. I feel better about that because I was trying to be very conscious of some of the words I say, but
I mean, you said the word turd, and I was like, oh, you can do better than that. You can do.
Oh, okay, good. Yeah, I want to say shit.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, all right. So but I find that a lot. Even my wife is a Jersey girl, and even she is. I guess we noticed it maybe as we got older, just how often we curse. Now, some of it is also too because I'm in the construction industry, so that's another story that it gets interjected into on the construction site all the time. I noticed that there's like little things like we have this spam. You guys know what spam is, correct?
Yeah, definitely.
We have this spam like substance, meat that we in New Jersey. It's spam. It really is spam. But however, for some reason, it's called pork roll in South Jersey, and in North Jersey it's called Taylor ham. But it's spam. It's circular spam. It has no nutritional value. It's full of. It really is. It's like canned meat, and it in slices, and it goes on your eggs with egg and cheese sandwiches on bagels, and it's delicious. But it's got no nutrition. It's got like 4,000 grams of sodium in each slice. It's just awful, but it's delicious. And there's a big debate because North Jersey calls it Taylor ham, South Jersey calls it pork roll.
Yeah,
it's interesting. I never heard of it before until today, and I happened to I just Googled, New Jersey words, and
right.
It came up. That was one of the ones that came up. I never heard of it before today.
It's not. It doesn't come in a can, but it's like that canned meat. It comes in like a box.
Yeah.
But that's Taylor ham, egg, and cheese. That's and that's the other thing. Bagels. So some North Jersey, they're bagels. South Jersey, they're bagels.
Oh yeah.
Italian ice. You guys have had Italian ices before?
Yeah, but you can't get them everywhere for sure.
No.
Yeah.
Well, Rita's is like the chain.
Oh.
But Italian ice is that's a big thing in the summertime in New Jersey.
Mm-hmm.
What is Italian ice actually?
So it's like a snow cone pretty much. It's basically just a flavored ice treat. It's like a soft ice. It's flavored. It's usually lemon or watermelon or strawberry. Those were the three when I was growing up. Now they're all different kinds. But in South Jersey, the Philadelphia area, part of New Jersey, they call it, which makes no sense to me, they call it water ice, which is redundant. It's like ice is ice, ice was formerly water there, buddy. It doesn't even Rita's in that area. So
no, that's amazing.
Out there? Do you have the chain Rita's Italian ices?
Nope.
All right. Well, they're a big chain. I didn't know how big they were, but even they're Rita's Italian ices everywhere, except in the South Jersey area, they're Rita's water ice.
That's amazing.
I love it.
I love that so much.
So those people are also called Pineys because the Pine Barrens in New Jersey. So the Pineys are like the country folk of New Jersey.
Right.
Yeah. It's not offensive though to call them that.
A little bit, but I mean, it depends. They depends. If you're a Piney and you're talking about not really. If you're from North Jersey and you're calling somebody a Piney, a little offensive. They actually. Have you guys ever watched The Sopranos?
Yes.
Yeah.
So there's a I think it might be a 2-episode arc early on where Paul and Christopher, they bring a guy down to the Pine Barrens in South Jersey to kill him. Supposedly that's the rumor too. That's a big mob burial ground.
Yeah.
And it's in the winter and they get lost and they spend 2 days just roaming around the Pine Barrens. And it's it's like a mixture of woods and swamplands.
Interesting.
Interesting is a nice way to say it. New Jersey's just an awful place. It really This is the least anybody's ever had to offer on your show. This is
no,
it's nothing. I love this show. Love it.
Yeah. Now I'm wondering. Okay, so got The Sopranos too. Do y'all just have to deal with the stereotype that y'all are just Italian mobsters there?
Yeah, there is. Yeah, there is that. So this is the thing. There's a big double standard because everybody loved The Sopranos. If you are from New Jersey, you love The Sopranos. You know where every place is and the opening credits. That's kind of you wear that as a badge of honor, but you hate Jersey Shore, and it really is promoting similar stereotypes if you think about it.
It's true, but at least if you're a mobster, you might be smart. But if you're GTL,
well, Tony Soprano was definitely cooler than the situation.
Definitely.
Yeah, but it is there is something. So I don't know what it is because even still, even though I make fun of New Jersey, there is something I can make fun of New Jersey, but
yes, we wouldn't. We're not going.
Well, of course you're not, because you guys are awesome people. But but there's just, I don't know if it's because we're sandwiched between two very large metropolitan areas in New York City and Philadelphia, and there seems to always be an identity crisis there. So people from New Jersey tend to really be a little defensive when it comes to. It's offensive when people just assume you're from New York, or it's mostly New York. We get mostly, like, when you're other parts of the country, it's just mostly New York, and it's just so there's that. There's a real even in our speech with people who are not from New Jersey, there's like a standoffishness almost that I've noticed. I mean, I try not to be that way. I try to be inviting. I would love everybody to come to New Jersey and pay the awful taxes that we have to pay.
So when you said that you get mistaken for like a New Yorker because of your accent, do you feel, so are you saying kind of like you feel kind of upset by that because you do have New Jersey pride, so you want people to know that it's actually Jersey? Is that kind of happening?
I mean, it doesn't really. When I was younger, it was kind of like, especially when I was in Florida, that's the first thing they assume. Oh, you're a New Yorker. And I'm like, no, I'm not. I'm from New Jersey. And that's really, it was. I mean, it's not so much now, but it definitely, and it was for me at least. I know a lot of, a few of my buddies. It is. It's like, well, we're always in New York's shadow, especially being in North Jersey. We feel that way. I mean, for years, even like the Statue of Liberty is, it's part of New York and New Jersey, and everything is New York, New York, New York. So there is you have kind of that like little brother type syndrome. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
If that's even a thing, I might have just made up a disease, but it's
no,
but it makes sense.
Canada has that too with the United States.
Really?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I never knew that. Yeah, I guess I could see that.
So do you think, did any of your teachers make you feel bad about your accent?
No, actually, it's funny. So I just, in high school, I had a teacher who she was very, very, I would like to just mention her Miss Liss. She just recently passed, age of 49. She was the best teacher I ever had. She was only 9 years older than me. I had her in high school, but she was quintessential New Jersey Italian, and she was I say this lovingly, like loud and in your face. She had the big hair and she had an attitude, and she had the accent, even worse than me, and
worse.
But
worse,
it was worse. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, I remember most of my teachers, at least like the cool ones, or the ones that I really related to, were like that. I think it was easy. I don't know. There's just a certain, I'm gonna say it for lack of a better term, like a toughness that you feel when you're even just speaking, when you're speaking to somebody from New Jersey, and it's like, okay, this person isn't gonna take any shit. I can't get over on them. So I had another teacher who was not. She was from Connecticut, and I was like the worst student she ever had. And I remember I actually just saw her recently at my my teacher's wake, and I apologize for being a bad student, by the way. And but we were laughing because I was like, I got to be honest with you, like you were just nice. Like, I smelled blood in the water. It was like really easy. You know what I mean? And that really was just. I mean, I don't want to blame it all on speech, but it is a big part of it is how you present yourself.
Yeah, well, there's some camaraderie there. You saw it when you speak the same way with or speak similarly to someone. Totally. Where was Bruce Springsteen? Where is he? Where is he? North Jersey?
Nah, he's the shore area. which is another. So there's another band that is very New Jersey. That if you're from New Jersey, this doesn't really have so much to do with speech, but called Southside Johnny, and he's like from that same. He's pretty well known, but not as well known as Springsteen. But he's from that same era, same area, and same music scene, and he just stayed in New Jersey. So like there are actually this guy. He's like in his 60s, and he's still performing. Him and his band, and it has like groupies who follow this guy all over the stupid state, and they're like my parents' age now. I mean, like,
well, Southside, was it Southside Johnny?
Southside Johnny, yeah.
Well, we're totally gonna put him on this episode.
We're
gonna put him on the clip. We gotta find a clip.
You can find him on Twitter. Yeah. He does have a huge following. He's very, very talented,
yeah,
and he does. And kudos to him. He's stuck to New Jersey. He does a lot of Springsteen covers, a lot of them, but he does have his own music and stuff too. I forget what his band is called, but
Tell me lies. Tell me lies.
So like Italian hot dogs are big.
What's that?
It's a hot dog where it's cut in half. It's put on like a sub roll. And it's filled with just fried peppers, onions, and potatoes.
Oh,
it's delicious! Yeah.
What?
That sounds delicious.
Okay. Yeah, it really is. It's So there's that. Wawa. Do you guys have Wawas by you?
No. What is it?
It's it's like the world's best convenience store.
Oh.
It's So they just infiltrate. They were a South Jersey thing, like Philadelphia area thing for years, and now they're just starting to get into New Jersey, like North Jersey and stuff. I've seen them in Florida and like down in the DC area too, but that's it. Nowhere else I've been have I seen them.
When you say Jersey, you say Jersey for North Jersey, don't you? And then say South Jersey for South Jersey.
Yeah. I do. Yeah. Jersey is North Jersey to me. South Jersey is South Jersey.
Yeah.
And I mean, I've lived in them both. There is a distinct difference. Oh, jug handles. So like, and this is a South Jersey thing on the highway. So, New Jersey is known for not having the best drivers. Another claim to fame. We just So in South Jersey, especially, there are when you're on a highway and you want to make a left-hand turn, you actually have to make a right-hand turn, go around a jug handle, get into the street, and then go across. So when I first moved to South Jersey, it confuses the shit out of everybody that first goes there, and they could put the Jersey Slide is another one. It's also called something else, but the Jersey Slide. People drive in the left lane, they see their exit, and they stay in the left lane, and they just cut across and get off there and get on the highway.
So I was also going to ask, what do you feel like when people, maybe if you're outside of Jersey and they hear your Jersey accent, have you ever felt like people have thought less of you?
Yes, I do. I feel kind of like it's not looked down upon, like maybe looked almost as not intelligent, like it's that stereotypical, like one of those Tony Sopranos guys, or the guy from especially after that Jersey Shore thing. Like I feel like it brings a connotation of being unintelligent.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So I do feel that way sometimes. More so now, more so since Jersey Shore. I hate to put it on that, but more so since Jersey Shore. Maybe I'm just older and I recognize it more, and I've been around more places because people do. It is a pretty distinct accent.
Right. Well, and it's been more than 10 years, right, for the Jersey Shore?
Oh, now they're back on TV too.
Oh, so that's not helping.
We don't have Jersey Shore, yeah. God forbid we don't have a reunion.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, and maybe that also has to do with like I feel because I'm Italian, and it's I have a very Italian name, Lou Capetta. I mean, that doesn't get much more Italian than that.
Right.
Yeah, I feel like that negative connotation with my accent, I think it goes hand in hand a little bit. I think it's, this guy's just And I'm in a union, so I feel like I'm just like some wise guy union representative, which is
but
which
I love
I
that.
yeah, which I wish, because I wish I didn't have to work that hard, but
Yeah. So I mean, I am sorry if this is offensive. Just saying the word, but Guido, is that
it's not offensive. I really don't care, but yeah, like I get that.
like a specifically Italian jersey?
It's
Like,
I mean, like
No, it's not. It's not New Jersey. It's
oh, it's not.
no.
Okay.
We use it in Canada too.
Oh, okay.
really,
Yeah.
yeah, it's like a it's more. I mean, it is I guess a derogatory for Italians, but I think it's more of a at least in New Jersey, it's more of a look. Like even
Yep. Same in
you could-
Canada. Mhm.
yeah, like when I was young, it was a guy. He wore the chain on the outside of his turtleneck and his Cavaricci pants and his hair slicked back,
Yep.
and he drove a Trans Am, which
Okay.
Yep.
I mean, some people call it Guido. I call it looking like a douche. Which is another word that we use. That's another New Jersey word.
No, that's everywhere.
We all
Okay.
don't take Duke from us.
Oh, sorry. I feel like we use that a lot in New Jersey, but
Would you call someone you like a douche?
yeah,
Like you call a friend a douche?
yeah, we're pretty. Yeah, I mean, I'm pretty brutal on each other. I mean, I don't have much of a. I don't have many friends, but I know. Yeah, but like we joke around like that. But maybe that's just I feel like America's been using that more so the past I don't know 2 years maybe.
Oh yeah, it's had a resurgence.
Yeah, maybe, I don't know, maybe since 2016. I don't know.
Yeah, well, yeah, definitely more
Yeah.
douches out of the woodwork.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yes, I'm not surprised that you said that. You sometimes feel like people outside Jersey will assume that someone with a New Jersey accent is unintelligent. I think there are a lot of other accents in areas in the United States that get the same thing, and it sucks and it's terrible. And whenever you need us to remind you that your accent is perfect, just tweet us. And we'll be like, yeah, your accent's perfect. Stop. Is there anything so we have listeners all over the world. Not really. I mean, yes, but is there anything you would want, like a final thing for folks to know about Jersey?
So it's not as bad as I make it out to be. I mean, it's a
Yeah.
it's a interesting. It's a very interesting little place. It's got a lot of very interesting quirks about it. First, being such a small state, trapped between two very large metropolitan areas, it really does have like a little bit of everything. I mean, we have country settings, countryside stuff. We are the Garden State. There are plenty of farms and stuff around here. We have metropolitan areas. It's it's not all bad. It can if you have to brave the traffic over a period of time, it can wear on you. But other than that,
Yeah.
and if you're around Newark Airport and you can stand the smell over there, other than that, it's all good.
Yeah, and don't rely on the Jersey Shore to get your information about New Jersey.
Yeah, if you're relying on the Jersey Shore to get your information about anything, you should probably reevaluate a lot of what you're doing.
Yeah, good point. Good
So,
point.
That's just my take on it.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, awesome. This was a lot of fun.
Good. I hope I hope this isn't like your worst rated episode.
No, this
I
is
hope
perfect. I love it.
I'm sure people will enjoy it.
No, it's going to be enjoyable. I think that sometimes when we have linguists, as us linguists too, it might veer off into the boring land a little bit easier, but this is not boring at all. So when we talk with non-linguists, I love it.
Yeah, I mean, I try to listen whenever I can, but like I do find what you guys do fascinating, even when I don't necessarily understand it all. But I think it is not that I don't understand it all, but I feel like I never even thought about some of this stuff until I discovered your podcast. I didn't even know this was a thing. I'm like, Like when you told me that I had vocal fry, that was like I in my mind. Like I'm like, oh.
Yeah, you're welcome.
So, nobody's judged me on it though, so
I
feel
know.
there's plenty of other stuff to judge me on, believe me.
Right.
Well, thank you so much, Lou.
No, it was my pleasure. Thank you. It was a lot of fun, and I can't wait to hear how it turns out and how much you have to add.
Me too.
And we leave our listeners with, don't be an asshole.
Don't be an asshole.
Or if you're in New Jersey, don't be a douche.
I love it.
Perfect.
The Vocal Fries podcast is produced by Chris Ayers for Halftone Audio. Theme music by Nick Granum. You can find us on Tumblr, Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram at Vocal Fries Pod. You can email us at vocalfriespod@gmail.com.